What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Today, we are going to be looking at some of the shocking tactics crypto miners are using to sell graphics cards. I was sent this article, and somebody was like, "Oh my God, look at it! Nobody's gonna buy the graphics cards from miners." And I'm like, it's no, it's almost a joke. Obviously, there are nefarious people out there that have run their cards into the ground and they're trying to resell them. That's basically where they're talking about at this point. But let me show you. Let me dive right into it. Oh, there we go. So the shocking tactics crypto miners use to sell ruined graphics cards and how to spot them. Okay. A worrying new trend has discovered that reveals extreme lengths crypto miners are going to sell graphics cards or their components that have been used for mining. YouTuber Askanda Souza, probably pronounced that wrong, I apologize, and computer technician Paulo Gnomes have discovered extreme ways graphics cards are being modified so they fetch higher prices or even enable them to be sold as new. Well, I don't agree with anything being sold as new that's not new. So if it's, even if it hasn't been mined on, if it's just been opened, in my opinion, it's not new anymore. So let's just be clear about that before we continue onwards. Um, this hardware has suffered a tough life running at extreme temperatures for long periods of time mining cryptocurrencies. Not exactly what you'd want from a new graphics card. Well, before we go on further in this article, I would be slightly skeptical buying GDDR6X memory graphics cards. So you're talking about your 40 or 3080s, 3090s, 3090 Ti's. Just be careful because those cards did run a lot hotter on the memory side. Some of them, I mean, it's even become common to repad them, repaste them, all that kind of stuff. So maybe buy from somewhere that you trust, or buy with an intermediary like eBay, that kind of thing, just in case. But for the most part, you're going to be fine. In a recent video via video cards, the pair investigated hardware purchased for lower than average prices from Chinese outlets available online. What they discovered were discolored GPU cores and memory modules, a yellowish tinge being a sign that these components had run very high temperatures for extended periods. Now, is an overheated graphics card not going to work? It can still work, but I mean, it's kind of like a high mile motor. That thing might go 300,000 miles, or it might not. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of want to know what you get at that point. But anyway, shockingly, the memory modules, which are often under considerable load when mining, that's what we're talking about, on the 3090s, 3080s, that kind of thing, they get really hot. They have been painted over to make them appear newer, while others appear to have manufacturing dates obscured. This could point to memory chips from older cards used for mining being transplanted onto newer graphics cards. I don't really see that being the case, but I mean, it's possible. I mean, I could definitely see them painting, but I don't see them transferring memory modules. 2 years ago, you'd be hard pressed to buy some new graphics card models, and those available demanded huge premiums. The reason, in part, crypto miners were snapping them up. Yeah, blah blah blah. We already know about all that. Ever since Ethereum went proof of stake, profitability went down, so people are dumping off hardware. These graphics cards may work when purchased, but the components may not have a particularly long lifespan and could even have issues with stability under high loads, such as intense games or content creation. If you buy a graphics card, go ahead and put it through its paces right away. Make sure it's still good. In my opinion, if you go with a 3060, 3070, 3060 Ti, I don't think you're going to have any issues because those cards were not overheating the memory modules out of the box, and they're a pretty good price point right now. I feel like a lot of the people that are looking at like 3090s and 3090 Ti's, you can kind of step up and go to like, the 4080, that kind of thing. So, yeah. Um, Continuing onwards, the trouble is if you do buy a new graphics card, then removing the cooler to view the memory chips and core will likely void your warranty. Not necessarily true for most manufacturers, but I digress. There are other tips you can use to follow to check your graphics card. You can look and see if like the little memory or the warranty tape has been removed or broken, if there's any seal there, because if it's been open, then you know somebody's been inside the card. Yeah, look for scratches on the screws that hold it together. Lack of warranty signatures are sure signs it's been dismantled. Avoiding older models is also a good idea. I don't think that's the case. They're recommending going for RX 7000 series cards and NVIDIA 4000 series. Well, those cards haven't come down in prices yet, so it's not like you can see a significant savings. I wouldn't be afraid to buy RX 6000 series, RX 5000 series, or even NVIDIA 3000 series, in my opinion. I would probably avoid 3080s, 3090s, 3090 Ti's, um, just because those were some of the cards that were run significantly hotter. Now, if you feel it out, you go on eBay and somebody's got a good rating and they've been selling stuff for a while, not just a good rating from buying stuff, because that's a common misconception. Um, I probably would buy it. And a lot of times the crypto miners weren't buying. A lot of times the crypto miners that were running their cards into the dirt were not buying the higher end versions or the higher end models. So what I mean by that is like the hybrids, the EVGA hybrids, and the FTW3s. In crypto mining, you could get a base model like XC3 and it would do almost the same performance, if not the same performance as a higher end model. So it was better just to save the money, get a base card, and just rock with it. Now, there was a time when you couldn't be very picky, so you had to get what you could get. So I understand that may have some discrepancy there. But yeah, so don't be afraid, ladies and gentlemen. This is not happening as much as people think it's happening. That's for sure. So before we get off here, though, I did want to take a look at the market because we are seeing a little bit of red. We have a $22,579 Bitcoin, down 3% in the last 24 hours. Ethereum, we don't mind it, don't need it, but it's still $1,625, down 3.3% in the last day. XRP, 39 cents, it's down 2.1%. Dogecoin, 8.7 cents, down a big old whopping 5.8% in the last 24 hours. Further down the list, we have Litecoin at $96.27. It's down 5%. Ethereum Classic, $21.95. It's down 5%. Monero, $163. It's down 3%. So pretty red across the board, anywhere from 2 to 5%. Yeah, not great. Trending is Singularity Net. It's down 31%. Not a good thing to be trending for, but yeah, can't always be a good thing, right? So anyway, I wanted to thank you guys for coming out. I really do appreciate y'all. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Do you think the evil crypto miners are painting and swapping and doing all this craziness? Maybe on like the Chinese side of things. Man, that sounded really bad. But there were a lot of big China mining farms, and maybe they weren't as maintained as other places. I don't know. I'm not gonna go down that road. Just be careful what you're buying. Take a look at it. Use common sense. Go from there, and you'll be good. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night. I'll see you on the next one. Adios. Video's over. Why are you still here? Are you going to bed right now? Or are you going to work right now? That's the question. Jellyfish out.